A lot of people come up to me with questions about their parents, and I didn't put this in my post. I put in my post what I appreciate about my parents, what I love about them, and how blessed I am to have them. But there are lots of people, guys, that come up to me and they tell me about terrible experiences with their parents. I mean, I have been witness to parents that have been, at minimum, psychologically abusive, verbally abusive. I've heard about parents that are physically abusive, sexually abusive. I've seen all kinds of things, and it's hard to even hear sometimes that parents can do that. And first, if I was to, I'm afraid to write something like that would put a sour taste in everybody's mouth as they read it. But I do want to say, for parents like that are abusive, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Allah gave you an honor greater than so many other creations on this earth. And He only gave you that honor because you take care of your children. You raise them. Quran says, "Kama rabbayani saghira," they ensured my growth. So your part was, as a parent, you ensured that they grow well, that they're taken care of, that their needs are provided for, that they're protected, that they're safe. When you took that safety away from them, when you took their dignity away from them, when you humiliated them, when you abused them, when you hit them, when you did these things to them that put them down, that made them feel worthless, then you have taken this huge honor that Allah gave you and you have abused it and you've mutilated it. That's a crime. That's a grand crime. I'm not even talking to the kids. I'm talking to those parents. That's something I don't know how you'll answer Allah. And then on top of doing all of those crimes, you have the audacity to turn to those kids that you've abused and then say, you better be good to me because Allah says, وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. That is not how that works. That is not how that works. We have to be, and I'll dig into that ayah because that expression is really important. Ihsan means to do your very, very best. Please listen to this carefully. This is an important concept that is not very commonly talked about. If you have, for example, somebody came to me today and said they have divorced parents, okay? So mom and dad live in two different houses. She's the only daughter. And when I'm spending time with mom, I feel bad because I feel like I'm abandoning dad. When I'm with dad, I feel bad that I'm not with mom. Mom makes me feel guilty when I'm with dad. Dad makes me feel guilty when I'm with mom. And I'm torn on both sides, and you're supposed to be the best to your parents. How am I supposed to achieve this balance? Listen, take a step back and understand something. The word ihsan means the very best that you can do. The very best that you can do. In that situation, when you identify, dad, these are the times that I'm going to spend with you. And that's the best I can do. Mom, here's the time that I can give you because I have work, I have school, I have these other responsibilities. Here's what I can give you. This is the best that I can do. Even after that, when they're giving you guilt trips and making you feel like you're worthless and all that, if you can turn to Allah and say, this is the best that I can do, Ya Allah, and you know that that's the best that I can do, then that's fine. In one case, when a parent is extremely abusive, and just being in their company is harming you, it's literally harming you. Physically, emotionally, in some other way, it's harming you. Then being away from them and keeping a safe distance from them is the best that you can do. There's nothing better that you can do. So ihsan is actually relative to each situation. Allah did not put one standard on all of us for what we can do for our parents. There's sometimes people don't understand that in every relationship, even in the parental relationship, there are boundaries. There are some things that, if you don't draw a line, people will keep taking more and more from you. Like if you have, for example, if you have friends that make fun of you and you never say anything, then they'll insult you more the next time, then more. You never drew a line. The same way with your parents, sometimes they ask for your time. They say, hey, I need your help. Then you go and help. No, now I want you to do this. Now I want you to do this. Now I want you to do this. And you say, but dad, I have to get to work. Or mom, I have to get to school. Or I have an assignment to finish. Or I have this, or I have that. No, that's not important. What, are you not going to listen to your parents? وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. And then you shut up and you just do what they told you, and then you're developing resentment towards them. Eventually you're going to burn out, you're going to disrespect them, you're going to stop talking to them. Crazy things are going to happen. How do you avoid all of that? Take a step back and say, Mom, I want to help. This is the day that I can help you. This is how much time I can give you for help, and I cannot do anymore. And even if she complains and cries and says, you're the worst daughter ever, the worst son ever in the universe, it's okay. You drew a line. And once you stick with that line, then the next time that line will be respected. In the beginning, it will feel like torture, but then they will learn to respect that line that you've respectfully drawn. You haven't drawn an abusive line, you have drawn a reasonable line. And that has to happen in every relationship, with your kids, with your parents, with your spouse, with your friends, with work. any relationship, it's important to draw boundaries and respectfully draw those boundaries. But by the way, once you draw a line and you say, hey, mom, it's, I want to help, but I don't like when you say these things, they're very hurtful. Don't say them. And if you say them, then I'm going to leave. But then she says them and you don't leave. You know what you've done? You better not cross this line or else. Then they cross that line. Then you draw a new line and say, hey, okay, this new line, you better not cross this one or else. And then they cross that one. You know what you're teaching them? There is no line. There is no boundary. This is a really serious problem many of us have in all of our relationships, that we don't know how to draw a line. And that has to happen even with our parents, respectfully, with the best possible intention, with the most loving, caring words, with the most consideration, but this has to happen. Otherwise, you'll just end up in miserable relationships, not just with your parents, in every relationship. You're going to be miserable. May Allah protect you from that kind of misery.